Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we have the details for this base STR Dragon Ball Super Broly EZA, and the details for the LR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Super EZA have now been posted on the official Dokkan Twitter account, so we are going to jump in and go over their details here. I haven't read them properly yet, so we'll just be going through and I'll give you guys my first initial thoughts on them. Hopefully they'll be good. Super Bosses definitely needs the buffs. Broly's team could do with the buffs. I'm really looking forward to the details on how good the legendary Super Saiyan Broly EZA is going to be, or Super EZA, because he's been a fan favorite LR. He was the first LR that released on Global, so obviously very much looking forward to him. This guy I was very unsure of, because this guy was kind of like a very blank slate. On release he was pretty terrible. His kit was very, very basic. So hopefully they've done something interesting with him. But yeah, we'll just jump in and find out straight away. Bear in mind as well, you can farm the EZA medals for him already. But we haven't had a data download. I don't know if there'll be missions. Like by completing the other Broly Super EZA or something, you might be able to get these medals. But just bear in mind, you can actually pre-farm these like now if you wanted to. But again, until we get the data download, we don't know. There might be a way that you'll just be able to get them from missions. But if you've got nothing else to do in the game, you could pre-farm these. But probably not today, as it's Dokkan Day, and you've got the Chamber in the Clouds link leveling to do. But anyway, let's jump in. So, this guy, let's see. Key 1, attack and defense 260%. Attacks effective against all types, and then randomly changes key spheres of a certain type other than STR to Rainbow. So straight away, that's a very big and very important change, because like he needed a certain number of orbs to do things before, but didn't have any orb changing. So that's much better. He's also just effective against all types all the time. I think he needed to pick up like 2 orbs to do that before, but now he just has it all the time. When attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 160% attack and defense and 40% damage reduction. So that's pretty good. 40% damage reduction. It is when attacking, so obviously he won't be good against AoEs or in slot 1. When attacking with 2 or more key spheres, he gets another 100% defense and 20% damage reduction and disables the enemy's guard. So as long as you've picked up at least 2 orbs, he's getting 260% defense when he attacks with another 20% damage reduction. I mean, that's pretty good. 260% when attacking is like a multiplicative, so that's quite a big buff. And with 60% damage reduction as well. So he should hopefully be relatively tanky after supering. With 6 or more key spheres, he gets 100% extra attack and launches an additional super guaranteed, so that's good. If the target enemy's HP is 80% or less when he attacks, he gets another 50% attack and defense and a high chance to crit. And if the enemy's HP is 50% or less when he attacks, he gets another 50% attack and defense and does another super attack. So actually that's quite good, because depending on how much damage he does, like if he does an attack and it drops the enemy to below 50% and then he gets another additional, that will trigger that other part and then he'll get that extra one as well. So yeah, he has the potential to attack like 4 times in one turn if the enemy's on low enough HP, which is pretty good. And then after delivering a final blow, he fully recovers HP at the end of the turn. So pre-EZA, I think it was like 26% or something. So that's pretty good, like a full heal if you get a finishing blow with him. Not necessarily something that's going to be massively game-changing in some situations, but there are absolutely situations that could come up where that could come in super clutch. So I mean, yeah, on paper, like just looking at it, that seems pretty good. The fact that if the enemy's on low HP as well, like these when attacking buffs all stack up. So if you've picked up 2 orbs and the enemy's at 80% or less HP, when he attacks, he's getting like 310% extra defense. So that's a lot of defense. Even if he's only at like 500k at the start of the turn, that means when he attacks, he'd be getting over 1.5 million extra defense and then having 60% damage reduction as well. Which obviously that's not going to be enough to tank the super attacks of like the hardest hitting bosses in the game, but that's still going to be very solid. And obviously he can get multiple super attacks. So depending on his super attack effect, yeah, see his super attack effect is now greatly raise attack and defense. So every super attack that he does, he's greatly raising his defense as well. So by the time he's finished doing all of his supers, like, he could quite easily clear 3 million defense, also depending on support, then also having 60% damage reduction, which means he's tanking like 6 million damage supers like Rose and Zamasu after supering, which is pretty good. So yeah, I mean, he seems pretty solid. He's obviously not going to be, like I say, tanking the hardest hitting bosses in the game, but this isn't really the kind of unit that we would be expecting to do that anyway. This is the kind of unit that you throw on like super bosses or movie bosses or something, and then he floats in slot 3. Changes orbs, which can be useful for the other units on the team as well. And then, yeah, has decent damage. Like, he'll have decent defense after attacking, probably be able to do a decent bit of damage as well. And then, of course, if he does end up being the unit that finishes off the enemy for that phase, or one of the enemies if there's multiple enemies, then he gives you a full heal, which is pretty nice. So, yeah, I would say just from looking at his kit, without seeing him in game obviously yet or anything, I think he seems pretty decent. So he's also one of the better link partners for the new Broly, so that's obviously very good. Yeah, he seems solid. Definitely a good addition for the teams that he is on. So we'll have to see obviously in game, but I think he's pretty good. So now the one we've mostly all been waiting for, I'm sure, the STR LR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Super EZA. This guy, first summonable LR on Global, so this guy was the first summonable LR that I ever got, because I got lucky and got him on his banner when he first came out. So definitely very excited for this guy. I really hope that he is good. His EZA was good when it came out. So let's go ahead and take a look. So remember, obviously his super attack and his like leader skill and stuff don't change. So he's got key 3, attack and defense 180%, additional 1 key per key sphere obtained, launches an additional super guaranteed, chance to crit and damage reduction 26%, and attacks guaranteed to hit. So enemies can't dodge this Broly, because before I think he had like Goku family enemies, it was attacks guaranteed to hit. So now it's just everyone. There's not a lot of events where bosses can dodge, but obviously that is pretty helpful. So when attacking with 12 or more key, 200% attack and defense. When attacking with 18 or more key, 260% attack. So when he does the 18 key super, that's going to be some big damage. When there's a super class enemy, or there's another extreme class ally in the same turn, so realistically, always then, right? Key 3, chance to crit and damage reduction 26%, extreme class allies attack and defense 26% for 2 turns, and then 260% defense when receiving an attack. Okay, that's the big one, because I was about to say he doesn't seem very good defensively necessarily, but 260% defense when receiving an attack is pretty good, right? Because he's got 52% damage reduction, which is obviously good. But obviously even like a decent amount of damage reduction, if you have low raw defense, isn't going to be particularly helpful. But yeah, having 260 when receiving an attack, it means if he has like a million defense, well, he probably doesn't have that much start of turn anyway, but yeah, if he has 500k again, let's say as the example, when he gets hit, he's getting like 1.2 million extra on top of that straight away, so it'd be 1.7 million with 50 odd % damage reduction, which isn't enough to tank big boss super attacks. But let's see, when there's a pure Saiyan, hybrid Saiyan or Goku family enemy, extra 6 key and guaranteed crits, so he's going to be doing the 18 key pretty much guaranteed. And then for 3 turns from the entry turn, an extra 200% defense and 26% damage reduction before attacking when all allies in the turn are exploding rage or movie bosses. So that means he's have what, 52, so it'd be 78% damage reduction in slot 1 with an extra 200% defense and then getting 260 when receiving an attack. So he could potentially in certain events go slot 1 for the first couple of turns. So I mean, he seems decent. I don't know if he seems like super crazy, considering it's a super EZA. Was kind of hoping for maybe a little bit more, you know, to instantly read it and be like, oh my god, he's super busted. But he's going to hit really hard. He's got 52% damage reduction for the most part anyway. He does raise defense on his supers, so when he's not in slot 1, he's going to get a couple of super attacks off, And then, yeah, when he gets hit, he gets 260% extra defense. So I think he's in a similar situation to the other Broly that we already talked about, where, like, he'll be tanking normal attacks from most of the bosses. Big super attacks, like the hardest hitting bosses, are obviously going to kill him. But, again, you got to remember, this STR LR Broly has always been, like, just a damage dealing unit, right? And this is why I always talk about, like, roles for characters, is we don't expect this guy to be tanking the hardest hitting supers in the game, because not every unit is supposed to do everything. Like, this guy's going to be a big damage dealer, guaranteed additional super, like guaranteed crits a lot of the time, like enemies can't dodge. Like, he's going to be pretty good at doing damage. He's also, remember, giving all extreme class allies 26% attack and defense for 2 turns. So he is technically also now a support unit. So you could quite easily throw him onto one of these teams as a 3rd slot floating unit, and he's supporting the team for 2 turns, whilst also having relatively good, like, post-super defense. So I think he seems pretty good. He doesn't seem absolutely crazy, but he definitely seems decent enough. I think, funnily enough, I feel like in terms of just reading their kit based on my expectations, I feel like this guy is better than I thought they would potentially make him. Whereas this guy maybe seems a little bit undertuned potentially, but I do always want to wait to see the units in game and stuff like that. I feel like, again, with this guy now being a support unit, he will be very useful for a bunch of these teams, even if he isn't the tankiest boy. So I think he's looking pretty interesting. But we will have to see once the actual EZAs are out. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What do you think of the EZA and the Super EZA? Are they good enough? Are they terrible? Maybe I'll do a post for a community response video, but let me know all your thoughts on these guys down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.